Okay, time for an update for the Lingering Legion. This is Tom from Black Toe Studios, and we have in front of you here another selection of demons, obviously. These have been done recently. I got on a bit of a roll with these guys, and these were churned out over the course of about a week. Very happy with how they're turning out. I've got a little bit of tidying up to do on some of the bases, but figured I'd do a video anyway, just to show you where I'm at. So we're just going to go through the troop choices that I've painted recently, and also some of the stuff I'm still working on in a second, which I'll bring onto camera once I've gone through these. So basically these are to flesh out my Demon Crusade force, which I recently joined. So we have currently in front of you here 20 Bloodletters, 10 Plague Bearers, 3 Nurglings and a Blood Master. So let's go and have a look at the Khornate side first. So on the right here we have the Blood Master. Very nice little model. Quite easy to get finished off actually. He's not like super complex to paint in my opinion, but I quite enjoyed it. I've obviously, as you can see by the swords and all the bloodletters, I borrowed the flame effect from what I did on the demon prints basically, and that came out I think quite nicely. So I decided to mirror it for all their weapons because I think it added a nice little offset from the dark red that I picked for all of the skin colours. So a little side close look at this guy here. But yeah, we have how it came out, and obviously behind him here we have 20 Bloodletters. I did basically 10 completely standard, and then I did some with the standard up here, and then obviously one of the instruments of Khorne there. And yeah, there are obviously the leaders of each of the squads. However, my intention was originally to run this as a 20-man group, but for the Crusade I'm probably going to run it as 210, one without any of the upgrades. Just so that they're usable in some of the smaller scale games at the moment that we're going to be having. Because I think we're around about the 500 point level. I'm not quite sure what that is in power level, but that's roughly what we were aiming for. So looking forward to getting these guys on the table soon. And then as we shift over to the left here, we come into the green zone, Nurgle zone. So at the front here we have 3 Nurgling bases, which these were deceptively difficult to paint. I actually received these pre-assembled. On reflection, if I do buy some more, which I probably will do, I will be painting them in their 3 layers. Because I think basically, if you look down the side here, they're kind of split. You put the back one on, then the middle one on, and then little front group on here. Painting them fully assembled was a bit of a task, and I'm pretty sure there's some little mistakes inside there. But on the whole, quite happy how these little happy chappies turned out. They're actually quite a nice looking model once you got them painted. I'm very happy that I put the yellow eyes on there because I think they kind of pop out from the darkened recesses in there. And then as we shift them aside, behind them we have a squad of 10 Plague Bearers. I've basically copied the recipe for the skin from the Greater Unclean one that I did earlier in earlier in the year. And yeah, so we have a banner bearer as well, and an instrument carrier. And then obviously at the front here, the leader of that particular squad. I probably will also bring these. I'm going to get more of these guys. Just I wanted to get my main goal to start with was to get 10 of each god's troop choice, just to get a kind of a base of models ready that I could use for playing games. Because obviously these guys have been sitting around not being involved in games for quite a while. So I wanted to actually get them on the table at some point soon, hopefully, just to try them out. I mean, as I said in the last video, Codex is a bit of a question mark, but we've got one of the supplement books at least that I can use to sort of have a little play around. But I am looking forward to next year with all the Chaos releases, hopefully. Obviously, I know Dom has same thing with his Chaos. I can definitely see certain comparisons being drawn to like the Chaos Demon Codex as well. It's all a little bit out of date. And needs a bit of love, so I'm hoping that obviously happens as is kind of promised or alluded to by Games Workshop. But anyway, I'm just going to show you what I've got currently on the painting table to finish up for these guys. So 1 second. So here we have the next set of models to be painted for this army. We've got 10 demonettes, obviously with a banner, one of the instrument bearers, and then obviously the kind of leader of the squad there with the manic hair. Looks quite cool. They're all based in grey at the moment, which is I'm going to be using the same recipe I used for my Keeper of Secrets on the skin. So it'll be quite a dark scheme, not quite as pale as maybe, or pink and pale as some of the other ones that I've seen. But looking forward to getting them done. And then on the left here we have a Sloppity Barpipe, which is actually the next model I'm actually currently working on. As you can see, I've put some base layers down this guy, so I'm going to start working on pitching in some of this detail. It's a very detailed model in my opinion, and a very amusing looking model as well. So I'm looking forward to getting him done, because that completes a little 500 point army list that I've been working on, ready for St. Gaines. For those who don't know, I actually cut myself the other week quite badly on my thumb. Just show you a little. There you go. That's a lot better than it was, and it also caught here. That was trying to remove a drill bit from a holder. I ran my fingers down the length of it, and it basically gouged out a whole load of skin. And unfortunately, these are my painting fingers, so it kind of slowed my progress down, which I was a bit pissed off about, I must admit, because I was in a bit of a groove at the time. But as soon as this bit here is the annoying one, this one's still quite sore on the side. So when I'm holding a paintbrush, it just rubs against it, which wasn't brilliant. But that should hopefully be done in another few days, hopefully. But yeah, so once these guys are done, I'm then going to get some pink horrors, blue horrors, because for the Tzeentch side of things. So I'm going to probably get 10 each of them, just so I've got them as some options. And then that kind of completes my first stage of the Lingering Legions kind of troop choices. And then I might start having a look at some of the other things, although I acknowledge that I have not got anywhere near enough troops yet, and I'm going to have to probably double up what I've got on everything just to get to the point where I have enough to field some interesting lists. At least, but I'm slightly wary, obviously, with all the releases that have been promised next year, that there may be some upgrades to some of these kits, and I don't want to go too crazy just yet, in case something really cool comes out that I want to get, and then it makes everything else look a little bit dated, which wouldn't be hard with some of these demon kits, but we'll see. I'm really looking forward to doing them, because this army's kind of a bit of a surprise to me, in fact, to how much I'm actually enjoying painting it, because it's very different to my traditional kind of very clean paint jobs that I've been doing, and very kind of rigid colour structures to stuff like the Black Templars, which is obviously very black and white and red, and not much variation on some of the colour schemes I've been doing for them, and also like my Red Scorpions and other things that are kind of set colour groups, whereas these have got some very interesting variations even within their own kind of different categories of being either one of the four gods. So that's my little update for today. Hopefully the next one won't be too long, so I will catch you in the next video. This is Tom from Black Studios. Take care, everyone.